Hi everyone, it's Sarah Fancy with another webinar, a Spooky2 tutorial on cold laser and PEMF. Okay, so PEMF stands for pulsed electromagnetic field. I'll just tell you a little about me. I live in the backcountry of Southern California, US. I'm originally from England, but have spent most of my life in the States. I have a therapeutic horse retreat where I live off-grid with my 6 horses, 3 dogs, and a little kitty. I've been a professional in the healing arts since 2000 and specialize in horse constellations, healing transgenerational trauma in the family system with the help of my herd. I'm a certified Spooky2 bronze trainer, committed to teaching you how you can become the master of your own health by using Spooky2. Yay. Okay, I've had incredible results from using Spooky2, helping my horses, dogs, and cats from all kinds of ailments. I've experienced numerous personal benefits, specifically from a bad fall when I broke my collarbone. That was right when I started using Spooky2. And I'll just side note, I did use the PEMF. Well, actually, I used the cold laser. As soon as I did that, I didn't even know I broke it. I knew it was something serious, but the first thing I used was the cold laser on my shoulder, but I'll tell you more about that later. So in this presentation, I'm going to tell you how to use the Spooky2 cold laser and PEMF coil. Okay, so in the pictures, these are my horses, my 3 dogs there on the left, the spotty horse, she's called Mayhe. And then in the middle at the top, there's Diva. Underneath her is Carzon. The bottom right is my cat, Tinkerbell, who's no longer with me. And Pappy above her. So all my animals are rescues. This is a new kitty. Her name is Monkey. And yeah, I would never, um, you know, buy a dog from a breeder or a cat or anything like that. I always go to rescues. There's so many animals that are amazing that need homes. So yeah, and so many horses, great horses that end up getting slaughtered because nobody wants them, whatever reason. And a lot of times it's because they're injured and the vet is unable to help them. And so the owner puts them down or sends them to the auction, and then they get bought by the meat guy who basically sells them for human consumption abroad, right? So there's countries where people eat horse meat. And actually, the horse on the top right, his name is Pappy. He came to me a year ago with severe skin issues that weren't allowing him to do anything. He was tormented. He was constantly scratching himself, itching himself all over his body. It was horrible. It was kind of like psoriasis. It was inside his ears. His ears were raw and they were bloody. And anyway, the owners just didn't want him anymore. They couldn't help him. They had the vet come several times. It wasn't working. So it was not looking good for him. Anyway, he ended up with me, and I was able to use Spooky2 with him, and it got him better. It got him better. A year later, he's great. I mean, it was probably like 3 weeks from when I got him that he was all cleared up. I mean, it didn't take long. I just had to find the right frequencies and the right treatment for him. All right. I didn't use PEMF or cold laser on him, so I'm not going to talk too much about that because I want to focus on those two modalities. Okay, so here you have what it looks like, right? So the top left is, it's called the wrist cold laser, okay, because it's designed to go on your wrist, and that's to help you cleanse your blood, all right, because it affects your blood. I'll go into that later. And then let me read this. The Spooky2 cold laser and PEMF devices attached to both the GeneratorX Pro and the XM generators. So there's two generators. If you didn't know, the XM is a single generator. That's that blue one. It's got a blue trim, top right, in the middle. And then the GeneratorX, there's not a picture of it here, but it's a twin generator. So it has two generators in it. So the cold laser or the PMF are included in the GeneratorX Essential Pro kit, or you can buy them separately, and they're really not that expensive. They're very cheap. They're great. I definitely recommend getting them. They are incredibly affordable and offer a multitude of ways in which frequencies can be delivered to the body. And that includes imprinting, which I'm going to get into later as well. So it's not just directly to the body. It can be the frequencies can be put into water, oils, crystals. I mean, all kinds of things, salt. Okay. Here we go, next one. All right, so the Spooky2 cold laser red light therapy. All right, so the top one is the wrist, cold laser wrist, which I just mentioned. It straps on your wrist. And you know, it doesn't have to just go on your wrist. Like when I hurt my collarbone and my shoulder was all messed up, I just draped it over, right? You can adapt it to anywhere. It doesn't have to just go on your wrist. And then you have underneath, you have the cold laser twin, right? Which is a twin. So it's two components, and it's designed to go up your nose or in your ears, okay, or inside your mouth for dental issues. Okay, can help you with dental problems like a specific tooth. You can literally put it inside the mouth. Okay, comes with a rubber cap. You can see it in the bottom picture there. And they both go 650 nanometers into the body. All right. So they penetrate the skin. All right. So what is cold laser red light therapy? Which, by the way, has been around for a long, long, long time. It's not something new, but it's underrated. Like, I don't think people realize how amazing it is. Anyway, so cold lasers are low power lasers which provide non-thermal photons of light. That means they don't get hot. These photons pass through the dermis, epidermis, and the subcutaneous tissue. They are often used for 30 minutes at a time, though longer durations cause no adverse effects. The light energy is absorbed and interacts with the light-sensitive elements within the cell. This process is very similar to photosynthesis in plants. Sunlight is absorbed and converted to energy in order for the plants to grow. Cold laser, also known as low-level laser therapy, is an energy balancer that uses a specific wavelength of light to interact with tissue. This helps to accelerate the body's natural energy balancing process. The light energy absorbed by the cells allows each cell to normalize. This increasing intracellular metabolism results in a reduction of pain, inflammation, edema, and reduces spasms while increasing functionality. Photons absorbed by the cells through the laser solution stimulate the mitochondria, which accelerates the production of ATP. This biochemical increase in cell energy is used to transform live cells from a state of illness to a stable, healthy state. I just want to add, you do not want to look into the light. It is a laser, so it can cause harm to your eyes. Ow. So that they come with glasses, right? So you put the glasses on. All right. So here's a diagram or an image actually of red blood cells before and after a 45-minute cold laser treatment. So let's look at the before and after pictures of blood cells using 45 minutes with cold laser solution for blood cells. So on the left, you see, sorry, my cat is not leaving me alone. She wants to get on the desk. Come on now. Settle down. If you're going to do that, just settle down. All right. So on the left, you see how the cells are all bunched together. All right. You don't want that. You want it to look like on the right, where each red blood cell is individuated and can do its job, which is to basically bring in nutrients to the organs and take out waste. Okay, so on the left, the blood cells are sticking together. This is known as rouleau. After the treatment, the cells have individuated, enabling them to do their job of carrying oxygen from the lungs to every cell in the body and removing waste. All right, so that's why, it's designed to go on your, I think it's the left wrist, and so it can penetrate the blood flow there, and you can run cleanse blood. There's a program called Blood Cleanse, not cleanse blood, is okay. Let's go to the next one. So cold laser can stimulate most cell types, including muscle, ligament, cartilage, nerves, and many more. You can use cold laser for bone regeneration. That's what I did. Carpal tunnel syndrome. I've heard great results for carpal tunnel syndrome. Like excellent. Dental pain, dentin hypersensitivity, elbow disorders, fibromyalgia, herpes labialis, knee osteoarthritis, lymphedema, musculoskeletal dysfunction, myofascial syndrome, neurological dysfunctions, pain relief, e.g. acute chronic low back pain, neck pain, orthodontic pain, shoulder pain. That's what happened with me. I was in agony when I broke my collarbone and I fell and I smashed my shoulder. And it really helped the pain. I was also in shock, and and you might say, well, why didn't you go to the hospital, Sarah? Well, actually, it was snowing. It was in the winter, and it was very, very difficult for me to get out of here. And plus, it's just basically it was impossible. And I probably wouldn't have gone anyway, but I'm not telling you to do that. You do you, right? So you should go when you need to. Okay. Where was I? Patellofemoral pain syndrome, physical therapy, recurrent canker sores and ulcers, rheumatoid arthritis, shoulder impingement syndrome, TMJ, tinnitus, wound recovery, including diabetic ulcers and gingival recovery. Okay, so here's the safety precautions, which I already told you, but I'll say it again. Spooky2 gold laser uses real lasers. Do not use it pregnant. Do not use over thyroid. Thyroid's in your neck, right? Do not shine directly into the eyes, as this may cause permanent damage. Do not use the booster, as it may damage the device. So don't plug the booster and then plug it into the booster. Just remember, do not use the booster. Just go straight into the generator. All right, so cold laser can be used on humans and animals. Here's an example of my horse, Ruby, receiving a session. She has stiffness in her fetlocks, which is the ankles, and a condition known as DSLD, which is degenerative suspensory ligament disease, where her fetlocks dropped, making her ankles appear parallel to the ground. First, I uploaded 2 arthritic frequency programs to GeneratorX Pro to work in standalone. So that's the other thing. So the GeneratorX Pro, the twin one, you can use standalone, whereas the XM you can't. Okay. So that means that you upload the programs into the generator, and then you plug it in and you can use it without the computer. Okay. So I put frequency programs for each generator. Okay, so I had them running simultaneously. The Gen X Pro is a twin generator, which I just said. I then set up a station to do the session for Ruby. I had a power extension cord set up to apply electrical power to the GeneratorX Pro. So it does not run on batteries. Okay, you're still going to need access to electricity to run it. I attached the cold laser wrist devices to both of the output 2s on each generator. Sorry, let's correct that. I believe it's output 1. Okay, that's a mistake there. Sorry about that, but it's output 1, all right, on each generator. And again, do not use the booster as you may damage the cold laser device. I attached the cold laser devices to each one of Ruby's ankles and then ran the 30-minute program. I stood by to make sure she didn't move too much. I held the generator as a safety precaution, and it's probably best to have 2 people, one to hold the horse and the other to hold the generator. I did it by myself, but yeah, it's much easier with someone else. So you don't break the generator, right? You don't want to break it or get it. You don't want her to stand on it. Okay, so I'm going to play the video and then you can see what I did. So it's out 1, okay? Not out 2, like I said before. So you can see there on her ankles, I put 1 on each ankle. See that? And there I am standing by her and just kind of moving with her when she moves. I was feeding her so she would be preoccupied and not get bored and try to walk off. All right, that's that. What else do I want to say about Ruby's treatment? It helped her. It helped her, you know, and I don't think it was because of her condition, the DSLD. I think that she got picked by another horse, and I think that that was the issue. That's what I think, but it helped her a lot, and I didn't do very. I mean, I maybe did a couple of treatments with her like that, you know, but it helped. So let's go into PEMF, pulsed electromagnetic field. So this is the other modality, right? We just talked about coil laser. Now we're going to talk about the PEMF. So PEMF works like a battery charger for our cells. The voltage of a healthy cell is about 20 to minus 25 millivolts. I believe that's minus 20 to minus 25 millivolts. We start to get sick when the voltage drops below minus 15. So on the right, you see that little diagram. That's helpful. When it drops below minus 15 millivolts, that's when our cells have trouble healing and become dysfunctional. By inducing a mild electrical magnetic current into damaged cells, PEMF therapy slows or stops the release of pain and inflammatory mediators, increases blood flow, and reestablishes normal cell injection, speeding up the body's natural ability to heal. All right, so they on the right again, going to that diagram, minus 50 millivolts is when healing occurs. And then minus 40 and minus 30 is normal for youth. Minus 20, minus 25 is normal for adults. Minus 15, that's when we start feeling tired and pain. All right, because it's depleting, the cell is depleted of energy, of power. And then minus 10 is when you get sick and you have pain. Minus 5, you can't function. Maybe you're in bed, you can't get out of bed. And then it's 0, and then it goes to the positive, which is 5, and that's cancer and disease when you get down to there. Okay. So here we go. PEMF reactivates the communication process between the inside and outside of the cells, accelerating the healing time of the tissue subjected to the therapy. Okay, now this is a quote from Jerry Tennant, MD. He wrote a book called Healing is Voltage. Might want to check it out. It's another way of looking at healing and the body. This is what he said. Chronic disease and loss of well-being is always defined by low electrical charge. With enough voltage and raw materials, the body can heal almost anything. Right? Increased circulation. So one of the most basic effects magnetic fields have on the body is increased circulation, not by increasing heartbeat or blood pressure, but by opening and dilating the arteries and capillaries. When a cell, such as a red blood cell, does not hold its ideal charge, the red blood cells can stick together and stack like coins, which is called the Rouleau effect. Remember I showed that image of that. This effect inhibits proper cell oxygenation to cells because the red cells do not circulate well enough to deliver oxygen where it's needed. There is a simple explanation why the Rouleau effect occurs, and it is related to voltage. When your cellular voltage is low, the positive charge on the outside of the cell is diminished, which allows the cells to stick together. When a magnetic field passes through the cell, the membrane becomes properly charged, allowing the cell to repel itself and keep separate from other cells, thereby increasing circulation. Good circulation helps tissues with cellular function get the nutrition they need while expelling the waste they produce. Nutrition, healing, and regeneration. Poor circulation makes tissues unhealthy and prone to disease and breakdown. So I do have a microscope, and I am able to look at the blood cells. And obviously I've looked at mine, but mine are good. Like they're all the same size. That's what you want too. You want your red blood cells should look all the same size, all the same shape. Because when you get sick and you're not doing good, right? They could be all these weird shapes, okay? But mine are all the same shape, and they're all individuated, and they're strong. They have a strong boundary to them. And I attribute that actually to the scalar, because I sleep in a scalar every night, but that's a whole other subject. I have some webinars about the scalar. So let's move on. But also, yeah, the PEMF and the cold laser helps with separating the blood cells so they can do what they need to do. All right, so PEMF supports nerve regeneration, neurological issues such as spine or back pain, sciatica, cervical, herniated or ruptured disc, MS, stroke, arthritis, Parkinson's, and Alzheimer's can benefit tremendously from PEMF therapy. In 2002, a PEMF scientist, Thomas J. Goodwin, reported that 10 hertz PEMF therapy application to neural tissue resulted in 400% improvement in regeneration. Wow. Pain relief. Neck, back, and joints works by blocking pain, decreasing inflammation, increasing cellular flexibility, increasing blood and lymph circulation, and increasing tissue oxygenation. Bone mending, wound healing. PEMF improves the quality of calcium produced and mends bones in 1/3 of the normal time. PEMF works to repair bones and bone regeneration, such as osteoporosis and osteopenia, among other bone-destroying conditions. Because PEMF supports cellular health, damaged tissue, and wounds heal much faster in 1/3 to 1/2 of the time with less scarring. So I just want to say something about that because my friend had a hip replacement and I lent him my MirrorMate PEMF device. It's called a Mini Magic. It's portable. I'm just mentioning this because there are other PEMF devices that Spooky has. It's the sister company called MirrorMate. And his scar, he barely had a scar left. And he just placed it over that. And it helped him a lot. I believe it helped him a lot. And the scar was, you can barely see it. He's in his late 70s, so it's not a young person. All right. Stress reduction relaxes the vascular system, lowering heart rate and dropping blood pressure by 20 to 30%. Athletic recovery, performance enhancement, accelerated recovery, and overall health maintenance. Recovery from muscle soreness, tissue swelling, and inflammation. Yeah, they use it a lot in sports therapy, physical therapy. They use PEMF. Okay, so setting up PEMF. So on the right, you see what the attachment looks like. This is one that's going to attach to the generator. This one does plug into the booster. Okay, you do put it in the booster if you want. So what you do is you connect the booster to your XM or GeneratorX Pro, connect the PEMF to the high port of the booster. Using frequencies under 30 Hertz works better with PEMF. 10 Hertz is even better. Frequencies in this range are great for supporting joint and bone health. So they are the lower frequencies, okay? 10 Hertz equals alpha rhythm, promotes learning, mental coordination, and mindfulness. So that's the brain wave. The alpha rhythm is the brain wave. That's what it's talking about. It can induce feelings of calm, increase creativity, and advance the ability to absorb information. Metaphorically speaking, 10 Hertz is the natural idle speed of the brain's engine at rest. All right, so I did treatments for my dog, Foxy. She's my older dog. She's blind. I don't even know how old she is because she was a rescue, but I'm guessing she's around 16. So for the past few years, she has become completely blind and is starting to slow down. Yeah, she was a super high active dog in her prime. For her treatment, I set up 2 PEMF devices from my GeneratorX and placed them inside Fox's bed. She quite happily laid on top of them with the BN side of the coil facing upwards. So that's important. Okay, so it has it written on there, BN, that's the contact side. I give Foxy 30 to 60-minute PEMF treatments and have run Schumann and cataract programs. So to be honest, I didn't notice much with her cataracts because they're really advanced. I mean, she cannot see anything. So I didn't see that, but I did see her energy came up. She was more energized and not as stiff, getting out of bed and getting up off the floor. All right, so this is what it looked like, what I did. Okay, so top left is the generator with the two boosters coming out connected to the PEMF. So they call it PEMF coil, okay? And then on the bottom, you can see I connected it here. It says connect here, and that's the high port. I think this is port. High power, sorry, high power contact. And then her bed, right? That's how I placed them. And then there she is. She just laid on top of them. She didn't even really know they were there. It didn't bother her at all. She was quite happy. Okay, so you can use PEMF and cold laser for imprinting, which I mentioned earlier. To find out more, watch my imprinting training video. Oh, yes. I did a whole webinar on imprinting. It's great. I love it. But in this example, I'm imprinting salt on top of a PEMF coil. So I basically laid it on the ground, and then I put the salt in a glass container and I put it on top, and then I think I put it the Schumann resonance, which is 7.83, and that's a fantastic frequency. It's good for lots of things. I'm not going to go into that right now. And then I also imprinted water with a PEMF coil. So see what I did there? I just put the glass of water on top of the coil with the BN side up. Remember that? Okay, so I'm going to show you the software in a minute. Now let's look at the software, and I will show you how to run programs for cold laser and PEMF. Both of these modalities have similar effects, but the cold laser twin can be placed inside the nostrils, ears, and mouth, and can also target acupressure points. So that's another thing that you can do with the twin laser. Okay, you can find specific places. All right, let me come out here, and I'm going to share the software. This is right here. Share. Okay, so now we're in the software. Just going to move some things around so I can see what we're going to do here. Yeah, we're going to stop that one. All right. We're going to use that port 5, generator 5, to show you how to do it. All right. So I'm going into home. I'm in presets. Okay. So presets, the tab on the left. And then I'm going to say shell empty presets, right? Because I'm going to create my own program. And then we have a list. What do you want to do? Contact, plasma, remote, scalar, footbath, spooky audio, spooky coil, or spooky cold laser. So those last two, the spooky coil is the PEMF. Okay, it just says coil. And then the one under that is the cold laser. All right. You have to make sure you get the right one. Otherwise, you can damage your generator. All right, so I'm going to show you the coil first since we just talked about that. So I click on there. And then I'm going to go into programs because I'm going to pick something that I want to do with a coil. So what do I want to do? So say like I want to do, let's put, I think it has arthritis. Right. All right, here we go, arthritis. So this is what I did for Foxy. See how many, there's tons of programs there. So I'm just going to pick a couple. All right. Oh, I'm going to pick that one and then back spasms. Okay. So you click on the one and then you click the plus button underneath, or you can just double click and it will go in the loaded programs box there on the bottom left. You have to get it in that box. If you don't, it's not going to show up. All right. So make sure it's in there. If you want to take one out, just click it twice. Go on. See that? All right, so I want to repeat the chain. It's the bottom here in the middle, says repeat chain. I want to put 0 there because I want it to keep going, and then I'm going to manually turn it off. Right now we go into control. I click overwrite. I click on my program, and there it is. So make sure when you do it, it comes up here and it says Spooky Coil. If it doesn't say Spooky Coil, you have to go back and do the steps again. And then on the right here, I have the programs, right? It says arthritis here. The estimated time is 33 minutes. And then you just press start, and that's it. But you want to make sure you've attached the PEMF coil already. The other thing I could do, I could put those frequencies in water, and then I could put that water in a dog bowl, and she could be drinking those frequencies as well as getting the frequencies from contact. Okay, so you can get really creative. So that's an example of the spooky coil. I'm going to go back into presets. So I'm going to stop that. Back into presets, and now we're going to look at the cold laser. So click on cold laser, and then I'm going to go into programs. So let's think of something I could do with cold laser. So, well, let's do dental, right? Because you can, like I said, you can put it in your mouth. Let's say, let's put teeth in the search. All right, so I'm gonna pick something. So say like you just had your tooth extracted and it's really sore. All right, there's a program for that. Let's say, actually, if we put tooth in there, there's abscesses, I think. Oh, there's infections. Let's do a dental infection. What else is in there? Dental infection, roots and gums. Like the infection has gone into the roots, the gum. Exposed. Oh yeah, let's try that one. Exposed dental nerve. Ow, toothache, right? And take that one out. And then I look at the chain and it's on 0. Great. It's just going to keep going around and around. Go into control. I overwrite generator. Click on the generator I want, which is 5. And there it is. Make sure you see spooky cold laser. The letter L in brackets represents laser. JW is the name of the programmer, which is John White, who is the creator of all the Spooky2 products, actually. And then you just press start. And what the cold laser will light up, right? So you want those glasses on. So put the glasses on because you want to check that it's working. Otherwise, you're not going to know, right? So you do that. Okay. So it's pretty simple. Pretty simple. I think that's it. I think that's what I wanted to show you. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments and I will answer them as best I can. Okay. And then I do want to offer you a 5% discount off any Spooky2 products. If you don't have the PEMF coil and you don't have the coil laser, like get them. They're really, I think they're they're about $30 or something. It's really cheap. You can do so much with them. Okay. You could also use, if you have a GeneratorX Pro, on one generator, you could be doing cold laser. On the other one, you could be doing the coil at the same time, right? Like if you had a bad fall, like I did, or I don't know, if you banged up, or you're in a lot of pain, do them both at the same time. Why not? Okay, so the code that you can use, it actually runs out pretty soon. It runs out August 11th, and it's Sara, Sara 07 12. So Sara, Sara 0712. I'll put it in the comment in the description. And then I'll probably get another code. So I'll update it. All right. So I'm gonna get you a discount somehow. So just look in the description, you'll find it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. I hope you learned something. And good luck with everything. Good luck with your healing or your animals and everything. And yeah, just stick with it. It is a bit of a learning curve, and but it's worth it. It's worth it. Then you can do your own treatments, your treatments for animals, and it's really fun as well. Okay. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.